1 Samuel 20. David fled from Naioth in Ramah. He came to Jonathan and asked, "What have I done? What is my offense? How have I sinned before your father that he is seeking my life?" Jonathan said to him, "By no means are you going to die. My father does nothing large or small without making me aware of it. Why would my father hide this matter from me? It just won't happen." Taking an oath, David again said, "Your father is very much aware of the fact that I have found favor with you, and he has thought, 'Don't let Jonathan know about this or he will be upset.' But as surely as the Lord lives and you live, there is about one step away between me and death." Jonathan replied to David, "Tell me what I can do for you." David said to Jonathan, "Tomorrow is the new moon, and I am certainly expected to join the king for a meal. You must send me away so I can hide in the field until the third evening from now. If if your father happens to miss me, you should say, 'David urgently requested me to let him go to his town of Bethlehem, for there is an annual sacrifice there for his entire family.' If if he should then say, 'That's fine,' then your servant is safe. But if if he becomes very angry, be assured that he has decided to harm me. You must be loyal to your servant, for you have made a covenant with your servant in the Lord's name. If if I am guilty, you yourself kill me. Why bother taking me to your father?" Jonathan said, "Far be it from me, far be it from you to suggest this. If if I were at all aware that my father had decided to harm you, wouldn't I tell you about it?" David said to Jonathan, "Who will tell me if if your father answers you harshly?" Jonathan said to David, "Come on, let's go out to the field." When the two of them had gone out into the field, Jonathan said to David, "The Lord God of Israel is my witness. I will feel out my father about this time the day after tomorrow. If if he has favorably inclined toward David, will I not then send word to you and let you know? But if if my father intends to do you harm, may the Lord do all this and more to Jonathan. If if I do not let you know and send word to you so you can go safely on your way. May the Lord be with you, as he has with my father. While I am still alive, extend to me the loyalty of the Lord, or else I will die. Don't ever cut off your loyalty to my family, not even when the Lord has cut off every one of David's enemies from the face of the earth, and called David's enemies to account." So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David. Jonathan once again took an oath with David because he loved him. In fact, Jonathan loved him as much as he loved his own life. Jonathan said to him, "Tomorrow is the new moon, and you will be missed, for your seat will be empty. On the third day you should go down quickly and come to the place where you hid yourself the day that is started. Stay near the stone Ezel. I will shoot 3 arrows near it. As soon as I shoot at the target, when I send the boy after them, I will say, 'Go and find the arrows.' If if I say to the boy, 'Look, the arrows are on the this side of you,' get them, then come back. For as surely as the Lord lives, you will be safe, and there will be no problem. But if I say to the boy, 'Look, the arrows are on the other side of you,' then get away, for in that case the Lord has sent you away. With regard to the matter that you and I discussed, the Lord is the witness between us forever." So David hid in the field. When the new moon came, the king sat down to eat his meal. The king sat down in his usual place by the wall, with Jonathan opposite him and Abner at his side. But David's place was vacant. However, Saul said nothing about it that day, for he thought something has happened to make him ceremonially unclean. Yes, he must be unclean. But the next morning, the second day of the new moon, David's place was still vacant. So Saul said to his son Jonathan, "Why has Jesse's son not come to the meal yesterday or today?" Jonathan said to Saul, "David urgently requested that he be allowed to go to Bethlehem. He said, 'Permit me to go, for we are having a family sacrifice in the town of my brother. Urged me to be there. So now, if if I have found favor with you, let me go to see my brothers. For this reason, he has not come to the king's table.'" Saul became angry with Jonathan and said to him, "You stupid traitor! Don't I realize that to your own disgrace and to the disgrace of your mother's nakedness, you have chosen the son of Jesse? For as long as this son of Jesse is alive on the earth, you and your kingdom will never be established. Now send some men and bring him to me, for he is as good as dead." Jonathan responded to his father Saul, "Why should he be put to death? What has he done?" Then Saul threw his spear at Jonathan in order to strike him down. So Jonathan was convinced that his father had decided to kill David. Jonathan got up from the table enraged. He did not eat any food on the second day of the new moon, for he was upset that his father had humiliated David. The next morning, Jonathan, along with a young servant, went out to the field to meet David. He said to the servant, "Run, find the arrows that I am about to shoot." As the servant ran, Jonathan shot the arrows beyond him. When the servant came to the place where Jonathan had shot the arrows, Jonathan called out to the servant, "Isn't the arrow farther beyond you?" Jonathan called to the servant, "Hurry, go faster, don't delay." Jonathan's servant retrieved the arrows and came back to his master. Now the servant did not understand any of this. Only Jonathan and David knew what was going on. Then Jonathan gave his equipment to the servant who was with him. He said to him, "Go, take these back to the town." When the servant had left, David got up from behind the mound, knelt with his face to the ground, and bowed 3 times. Then they kissed each other, and they both wept, especially David. Jonathan said to David, "Go in peace, for the 2 of us have sworn together in the name of the Lord, saying, 'The Lord will be between me and you, and between my descendants and your descendants forever.'" Then David got up and left, while Jonathan went back to the town of Naioth. So David flees, came to Jonathan and asked, "What have I done? What is my offense? How have I sinned against your father that he's seeking my life?" Now remember, Saul has sworn an oath to to Jonathan not to kill David. He's sworn an oath not to kill David. David and Jonathan have made a covenant with each other. So there's an agreement of love towards each other. We don't have the first one. We'll get to the second one here in a minute. All right, Zach Attack, have a good nap. Jonathan said, "By no means are you going to die. My father does nothing large or small without making me aware of it." So, hey, I'm his right-hand man. I'm there all the time. I'm the one who knows things. I found out about this last time, and I appeased him. So he hasn't said anything. He hasn't changed his mind. He's not coming after you. Certainly not. Taking an oath, David again said, "Your father is very much aware of the fact that I have found favor with you," and he has thought, "Don't let Jonathan know." So he's making an oath. So I swear to you, I know he's after me. I've seen him come after me. And he's decided, don't let Jonathan know. Jonathan will be upset. But as surely as the Lord lives and you live, there is about to be one step between me and death. There is about to be one step. I am one step away from death. Jonathan replied to David, "Tell me what I can do for you." Okay. Jonathan just believes. Jonathan trusts David. Jonathan loves David. David says to Jonathan, tomorrow is the new moon, and I certainly expected the king's table. You must send me away so I can hide in the field until the third day evening from now. And then if your father misses me, you will say, I sent him to Bethlehem. He requested to go there for an annual sacrifice with his family. And now notice that the way he describes it is later. He's going to his brother's house, and he didn't describe it as an annual festival. We don't need all the details repeated to make them, oh, it's at his brother's house. It is an annual festival. These things don't have to be in conflict. We could just get part information to begin with and new information later. Oh, Jonathan made up a different story. Like, if I'm just giving you part of the information, rather than spending the time to repeat it, I can give you new information. That's also true. Okay. If he should say that's fine, your servant is safe. But if he is very angry, be assured he has decided to do me harm. You must be loyal to your servant, for you made a covenant with your servant in the Lord's name. So, hey, remember, you have a covenant. If I am guilty, you yourself come and kill me. Why bother taking me to your father? So, if I actually did anything, you kill me. If he's got a problem, if he can articulate it, and there's something I've actually done, then you take the power to kill me. If I've done nothing wrong, it's your dad. It's all your dad. We already have a covenant. Jonathan said, far be it from you to suggest this. Don't suggest I kill you. We have an oath, a covenant. I'm not doing it. Excuse me. If I were aware that your father has decided to do you harm, wouldn't I tell you? It can't be true. I would have told you. If he would have. David said to Jonathan, who will tell me if your father answers me harsh? So he's going back to, who's going to tell me if your father is doing me harm? I'm telling you he has. I'm sending you to go prove and find out for sure. Who's going to come tell me? So Jonathan says to David, come on, let's go out to the field. When they go out to the field, he says, the Lord God is my witness. I will feel out my father about this time to find out at the day after tomorrow. If he's favorably inclined, then there's no need to send, or I'll send word and let you know. But if my father intends to do you harm, I will let you know. If I don't let you know and send word to you, you should go safely on your way. May the Lord be with you as he has with my father. While I am still alive, extend to me the loyalty of the Lord, or else I will die. Don't ever cut off the loyalty to my family, not even when the Lord cut off every one of David's enemies. So my father is your enemy. Even when God is cutting off the enemies from the face of the earth, don't cut off my family. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David. So again, another covenant. The idea here is to cut a covenant. You are doing an action that is binding. Jonathan once again took an oath with David. Part of it is part of oath. Part of it is probably some sacrifice, or just not doing it, or telling us all of that because he loved him. In fact, Jonathan loved him more than he loved his own life. That's the thing. Jonathan is willing to lay his life down for David. That's the kind of friendship that they have. Tomorrow's a new moon, and you will be missed from your seat on the third day. You should go quickly and come to the place where you hid yourself the day this all started. Stay near the stone of Ezel. Okay, so we are in 2019. Let's go find what Ezel means. El, I'm going to guess, is something about God. My brain, you would think, would remember what Ez. There's enough names with Ez in there. Probably should say Ezel, not Ezel. Ezel. Wow. That's some beautiful foreshadowing there, people. That's some beautiful foreshadowing. Stand by the stone of departure. Stand near the stone of departure, and I'll tell you whether or not you should stay or go. Like, oh my goodness, there's some hidden foreshadowing in the story that we miss because it's not in English. Stand near the stone of departure. I'll shoot 3 arrows. And then I'll tell my servant to either, no, they're nearer to me, come back if it's safe for you to come back, or no, go farther and go faster to get them if there indeed is a reason for you to depart. Oh my goodness, that's so brilliant. That's so brilliant. Love that. Love that. Okay. So David hid in the field. When the new moon came, the king sat down for the meal, and the king sat at his usual place, Jonathan opposite him and Abner at his side. But David's place was vacant. However, Saul said nothing about it that day. Something has happened to make him ceremonially unclean. Yes, he must be unclean. So, yep, he's a warrior. He could have killed someone. He could have touched a dead body. He could have come into contact with blood. He's probably unclean. He'll be here tomorrow. But the next morning, the second day of the new moon, David's place was still vacant. So Saul said to his son Jonathan, "Why has Jesse's son not come to the meal yesterday or today?" So it says the next morning, the second day of the new moon. I don't know if this means there's a morning festival or a morning meal. I'm not clear on that. Regardless, he's not there. He becomes angry. He gives them the excuse they came up with. He's going to go to his family to sacrifice. His brothers urged him to be there, and so that's why he's not at the king's table. And Saul becomes angry, just as we knew he would. "You stupid traitor! You son of a perverse woman of rebelliousness." Like, that's a full title there. That's a full title there. He's coming up with the worst thing that he can. And yes, the rebelliousness, but you stupid traitor. But yeah, he's also insulting his mother. Don't miss that. Their translation does not include this in here. But such an overly literal and domesticated translation of the Hebrew expression fails to capture the force of Saul's unrestrained reaction. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Saul, now incensed and enraged over Jonathan's liaison with David, is actually hurling very coarse of emotionally charged words at his son. The translation of this phrase suggested by Kohler and Bungman, "bastard of a wayward woman." Yeah, but this is not an expression commonly used in English. A better English approximation, "you stupid SOB." However, sensitivity to the various public formats in which the Bible is read aloud has led to a less startling English rendering, which focuses on the Semitic value of Saul's utterance, the behavior of his own son, of betrayal. Okay. Yes, but you still could have included something about his mother in there. You traitorous whelp of whatever kind of woman, you know, of a whore, a wench, whatever you want to throw in. You could have done something. All right. Anyway, moving on. "Don't I realize that you, to your own disgrace and the disgrace of your mother's nakedness, have chosen the son of Jesse?" Then they have no footnote on your mother's nakedness there. Like, it'd be you're bringing shame to your mother, I think, is part of the idea there for sure. You are a shame to your mother who gave you birth. "For as long as the son of Jesse is alive on the earth, you and your kingdom will not be established." True, Dad, and I don't care. I'm not after my kingdom. I want David's kingdom. Well, duh. "Now send some men and bring him to me, for he is as good as dead." Jonathan responded to his father Saul, "Why should you put him to death? What has he done?" Still trying to use reason. "Tell me what he's done. I will go and take care of it. If he's done something, I will do it." Then Saul threw his spear at Jonathan in order to strike him down. So Jonathan was convinced that his father had decided to kill David. That's all it took, throwing a spear at your head. Now you're convinced. Okay. Jonathan got up from the table enraged. He did not eat any food the second day of the new moon, for he was upset with his father, had humiliated David. The next morning, so whether or not this is at morning, he doesn't eat all day, the next morning. So this is the third day as promised. Along with a young servant, he went out to the field to meet David. He fired the arrows, and he said, "Run, find the arrows I'm about to shoot." Then he said, "Isn't the arrow further beyond you? Hurry, go faster, don't delay." Jonathan's servants retrieved the arrows and came back to his master. Now, it seems like at this point, they shouldn't have a conversation at all. It's not safe. David should just flee. However, now the servant didn't understand. Well, we know that part. Then Jonathan gave the equipment to the servant and said, "Go take these back to the town." So take them back to town so you're not here to witness me talking to the traitor. So Papsio, it's pretty convincing when he will kill his own son for the mentioning David. Yeah, absolutely. He is coming after Jonathan for this. What is interesting to me is, was there ever a thought that Jonathan should or could go with David and flee along with him? Was that ever a piece of any thought process of, let me go with you, let me come along? Or is that never a thought? I mean, we don't have it mentioned. It's not what happens. So maybe even if it was, it's not part of the story. But like, you know, the two of them teaming up could have been pretty cool. That's all I'm thinking. Okay. When the servant had left, David got up from behind the mound, knelt with his face to the ground, and bowed 3 times. He is giving honor to Jonathan because Jonathan took this risk, and Jonathan has come to give him the news. They kissed each other. They both wept, especially David. Jonathan said to David, "Go in peace, for the two of us have sworn together in the name of the Lord. The Lord will be between me and you, and between my descendants and your descendants forever." Then David got up and left while Jonathan went back to the town of Naioth. So it's the last time, really, that they're going to have a conversation together. The last time they're going to embrace. It won't happen again. There's a lot of loyalty to fathers even when they were not good. Oh, true. He could have stayed true and loyal to his father even if he couldn't be loyal to David at the same time. True. That could be part of it.